show you the correct way to fall into class, at least the way I do it. Is we put the cane in what I call a holster, the armpit here. We fall in here. Let's go, yep. Come in. Movie. Pretty tough, huh? We went over the two-handed blocks, I believe, Friday night. You guys remember one? Oh, sure. What I'm going to do is go over the blocks with you, and we'll go over the strikes, and I'm going to come by and swing this. This is a padded cane here. I highly believe in this because you can whack people and not hurt them. So as I come at you and strike at you, you can try to throw your block, and then I won't be smashing your fingers or anything. Knock on wood, I've been doing this, as you know, just the cane for 20 years. No injuries. Maybe a sore thumb or something, that's it. Okay? And even with my open hand, of course, we've ever had is a broken rib. That happens all the time, supposedly. But safety is my utmost importance because this is a billy club with a meat hook. And if you're not careful, you can hurt somebody. I stopped teaching kids under the age of 12 because they don't have the respect they need for a real weapon. I was teaching some classes in New Jersey. The kids loved the cane. In fact, they were going to bed sleeping with them. But they didn't respect them. They swing around the house and start breaking things. And when you start, even myself, I'd go in the airport once in a while, and to walk with a cane, you sometimes spin it to let people know that you're not as gimpy as they think you might be. And if you don't look, you might hit somebody behind you. So if you start spinning the cane, which I think is very important because it stops the situation. Did I go over this at all? You have to forgive me, I teach so much. So I want to make sure we know how to do the figure eights and the holster. That stops probably 80% of the problems that arise. Because most thugs don't want to get hurt. They come after you because they think the cane makes you, like everybody else thinks you're feeble until you show them that you're not. When you walk with a cane, you should walk up straight. There's no reason. Most canes, people that have not had any cane training, kind of walk like this. Once they get cane training, they walk like this. They stand up as a whole different personality, just like a martial artist. Before they start walking proud, they can't be picked on, but most people, after their martial arts for a year or so, know how to walk properly, and people stay away from you. You have an aura about you. Okay? So let's go over the blocks real quick. I'm going to go over one-handed and two-handed. You should practice these right and left-handed. How many southpaws we have here today? Just you, huh? We know back in the old days you would have been killed.
You're an evil person. They would make you use the other.
Very evil. If you have any problems, I can do the stuff left-handed too. But try if you're halfway decent, your right hand, try it.
All right.
Okay, but you want to stay with your dominant hand. You're always going to be strong.
We'll do it both ways.
Okay. So let's start out with one-handed blocks. We didn't do those yet. I always start from the bottom and I work my way up. I have people send me tests. Anybody who starts in the middle and starts showing me blocks in the middle always forgets one or two of them. But if you work from the ground and coming up, it's pretty hard to forget anything. Okay, or you can start from the top and work down, whichever way you want to do it. So start with a one-handed block. Someone's coming, if the cane's in your right hand, someone's coming after my left leg. It's just like throwing a one-handed strike, a low strike, right here. Now you have to get used to keeping your free hand up by your chest because it's used for blocking, grabbing, whatever you can use it for. Down here, it's useless. I like to have the palm towards the heart. I think I explained that to you before because this way, if a guy has a knife, he cuts you here, you lose your fingers. Cuts you here, it bleeds a little bit. So learn how to keep your hand up here, and some people even have to grab it up here to hold it, to get used to keeping it up here. But if you decide to test and stuff, it's pretty important that you have your hand up here. I'm a stickler on that part of it. So, guys trying to hit you in the left foot, cane's in your right hand, step back your left foot, and lost. Okay? You don't want to block way up here because you're wasting your energy and stuff. All you got to do is block to where your foot pretty much stops. And then after we get going in here, we're going to throw all the blocks and strikes together. Okay? So, is it okay for me to face you, or do you want to turn around so you can see it both ways?
You have a mirror.
Yeah, you have a mirror. Well, I'll do it this way too. So, low block, left side, right here. You also want to learn how to step forward and get out of the way. I believe in diagonal fighting. Fighting straight up and back, you got problems. Especially when you're going backwards and they're coming at you. Okay? Left side. On the left side, one-handed, I like to get the little speed coming up here. I don't want to wiggle my cane out in front of the guy because he might be able to hit it or do something with it. So I come back here and I will step back. Come around over here. Okay? And some of you guys are trying to do this holding onto the crook. First thing when anything ever happens is you drop your hand down under the shaft. Feel the difference between holding the cane on the shaft and holding it here. It's 100% different. You don't have the power or the strength or the accuracy holding the cane like this. We only have one technique holding the cane like this, or actually two, but it's you don't have the strength and you can't fight anybody because you don't have the power. It can hurt your wrist also. Okay, one-handed blocks, moving up. Someone's trying to hit me between the legs or hitting me in the belly button with a straight hit over here. I'm going to step off to my right, so I step out with my right foot, and I go straight downward block. Okay? If it's going to my left, I'll step out with my left leg, bring the cane around over here, and drop it down here. I'm just trying to knock that guy's cane down to the ground. And you'll notice that when you start playing with this, usually the cane on top wins. So, Dennis, you push at me here, what I'm doing, hitting just like so. I don't want to do it like this because I have a chance of hitting my own leg. That's why you have the distance here. Same thing if I'm stepping to the left, coming over here, coming down over here. I'm getting out of the way and knocking his cane down. Then from here I can do whatever I've got to do to win the situation. Moving up higher, we have a parry block. All I'm trying to do is move what's coming at me, whether it's a fist, a hand, a stick, or whatever he's trying to point at me. So it's from here to here. When you block, you want to keep your arm right around chin level. You don't want to block your eyesight, ever. So it'll be from here, it's coming over to my left side. Over here, I want to turn sideways, make myself thinner. The right side, come over here, stepping this way. Just a parry block. All I want to do is have his weapon miss me by a 1/16 of an inch. High blocks, we have diagonal block. If the cane's in the right hand and it's coming over to my left side, I just take this cane and bring it straight up to here. Okay? Your hands up here. And then my next move, since he's trying to go for my head, I consider that a killing move. I would step and hit him in the head. I call it return the favor. Okay? Now, if cane's in the right hand, the guy's coming to the right side, I would take my wrist around as far as I can, bring it up here, and block this way. I have a complete window here where I can see what's going on. You got it. You want to have this thing at least a 15-degree angle. And the last one is a straight high block, which is still up here. It's still an angle block coming over here and blocking it down. You don't want to ever have a thing going towards your hand there because if it hits down here and slides down, he can't take out your hand. Okay, so those would be one-handed blocks. We'll do it again real fast. Left side, step and block. Right side, coming around, blocking. Coming in, trying to hit the groin area, stepping to the right. Downward block. Stepping to the left. Downward block. Parry block to the left. Here. Parry block to the right. Diagonal block. Coming down to the left side. Be straight up here. And there's different ways you can step. You can step over here, step with the other leg, whatever is right at the time. No matter what situation is, you might be stepping a different way. Depending on if you're in a hallway, it's going to be a lot different than fighting out in an open space. Or an airplane or wherever you happen to be. And the last one, we're going to turn the cane all the way around, coming with a diagonal block, right side, right cane. Okay? You just don't want to block your eyesight. Doing the two high blocks, you should also make sure it's a block and a strike. And this side, it's a block, knocking the weapon out of the way, and a strike. Two-handed blocks. Starting off, the low one is called a broom block or a sweep. You will grab the cane one hand away from the other one. You don't want it too long, you don't have the distance, you don't want it too short, you don't have the strength. So about 1 hand's distance apart. You want to keep the tip 1 inch from the ground, so it'll be here, left side, block, right side, block, a downward block, someone's trying to hit between the legs, the cane comes up to chest level, and then you step backwards or forwards, and you push. Okay, you want to try to make his weapon uncontrollable for a split second so you can take care of business. Now when you block, this hand is open. You can have it this way, whatever you want to do, but everything is behind that. And then you give it a push, just before it's going to make impact. Okay, side block. We have a side block left side, push. That's tip up. You can do the same thing with the tip down. But you're still going to push. Other side, tip up, push. And tip down, push. High block, left side, straight up here, diagonal push. Right side, diagonal push. This side is very important to push because if you don't, it's going to come down and take out your right hand. And a regular old high block, stepping forwards or backwards, stepping right foot or left foot, doesn't make any difference. Stepping with your feet with your cane in one hand doesn't matter too much. You just want to be balanced. Okay? If some of your styles call for a long stance, like a Shotokan stance, I recommend you shorten it up. Shorter stances, you have more balance, and you can move a little quicker. So one thing you always want to do if you're attacked is move. Move your feet. The real estate right here is real cheap, so if somebody's attacking you, you want to move so you're not a target all the time. Okay? That's a quick synopsis on the blocks. We also have what's called a post block, which someone's trying to hit you, just put the cane right here, that'll stop it. You want to make sure the cane has an angle to it. You don't want to do it like this because it'll scoot up and hit you. So it's a block right here. If you want to reinforce that block, you're trying to hit with a 2x4, you can put your foot behind it. We also have a wing block. The guy's coming at you, you don't have time to do anything, you're just going to hide behind the cane. You just lift it straight up. Put the elbow in here. You want to support it, because if you don't support it, you can really hurt yourself here. Now I support it with a little pinch block. You can support it this way if you want, but you have a chance to get your finger smashed. If you're fighting somebody who knows how to fight with a stick, that's why all the blocks are open-handed here. If you block like this, you're going to have your finger smashed by the guy who knows what he's doing. This here, you have somewhat protection of the horn here and the crook area. Going over the parts of the cane again, the very tip is called the horn. This is an inverted horn for practicing mostly. Turn to the other direction, it turns into a street cane. I make canes that are so sharp, if you put the horn on your finger will bleed. I took one through the Senate building like that, walked right through it, they didn't even care, didn't look at it. Okay, this is the crook. Crook, all the canes I make will go around a 17-inch neck. If you want ones a little bit wider, tell us if you order one. Say, I want one with a real wide neck, and we'll find one that's a little bit wider. I stopped making the canes that come in here so that when you pull it around the guy's neck, you have to pull hard to tear out the collateral, because I'm grown up and I don't want to see that much blood anymore. And blood is contaminated by a lot of people, so you don't want to get their blood on you anyway. And you don't need to have the blood part. Although, like the canes with the shark's teeth, I think I showed you all that stuff last time. Anybody want to see it again? But the shark's teeth are made for hurting. When you go through TSA and they do stop you, most of them don't say anything. I did have one guy stop me and I said, these are for the exercise system. And I had to laugh because he goes, exercise system with a cane, what are you talking about? So I took out the book that I sold the gentleman a little while ago, and he looked through it and goes, there is. He didn't just recognize that half the pictures were me. But there is a complete exercise and rehabilitation system with this cane. This cane with an exercise band, we have 5 different strengths. You have a complete gym that you can do standing, sitting, or laying down. And it's effective. I'm in pretty good shape, and I couldn't do it all if I did everything with 3 sets at the proper strength bands. So I'm getting that system Right now, they're having studies done on it. I'm gonna try to get it in all the hospitals in the United States, and then I'll go for the rest of the world. Hospitals do not have a cane system. You hurt yourself, they'll fix you up, they'll hand you a cane and say, here you go. Most of them don't even know how to measure the cane correctly. Measuring a cane. You go from the wrist to the floor with your favorite shoes on, and then you add an inch. I'll get people call up, they go, I need a 32-inch cane. I go, 32, how tall are you? I'm 6'2". I said, you measure wrong. You need at least a 36, 37-inch cane. And they'll swear that they measured it 3 times. I said, fine, go up against the door and do it. Because anybody over 5'10" needs a 36-inch cane, or 35 anyway. Unless they have real long arms. I will ask the guy, can you stand up straight and scratch your knees? Because everybody's different. I had 2 ladies, one was 6'1", the other one was 5'9". The one that was 6'1" had a shorter cane, and the one was 5'9" because she had real long arms. It has nothing to do with how far your hips from the ground or anything, it's how far your wrist is from the ground. Because the cane is in your hand. Make sense? So I mean, it's not rocket science, but you'll be surprised how many people, most canes, you'll see people that they're bending over. You get a cane that's too short, you're going to mess your back up. Too long is not going to mess up your back, but in a self-defense situation, you don't have complete control of it. Especially if you do a lot of spinning or something. I learned that in the tournament circuits. When I was doing the tournaments, I found out the judges like to see a lot of spinning and what I call foo-foo techniques to make the cane look flashy, which work. In fact, why don't we go over that? So we went to the blocks. Let's do the strikes next, and part of the striking system, I'll show you the spins. Striking. First strike, you're holding the cane. Most people hold the cane like this way, right here. Other people can carry it this way. This cane is a lot stronger than the ones you buy in a drugstore, so it doesn't matter. You don't have much flex in these canes to begin with. You're always going to have some flex in a cane because it's a piece of wood and they do flex. This cane here is made out of hickory. I've had customers that weigh over 550 pounds, and these canes are plenty strong enough to hold them up. So it's a good, strong cane. And you're carrying it this way, you have a swing strike. So no matter which way you're carrying it, one facing the crook or the horn facing your opponent or away, you're just going to pick the cane up and swing. What's going with that swing is you're standing around, all of a sudden somebody's in your face and you want to get them out of the way. Okay, a defensive swing would be stepping backwards away from your opponent and just swinging. This type of a swing, you don't have that much control. If you can get within 6 inches of what you're swinging at, you're doing pretty good. Okay, so it's just a swing strike, whether the guy's coming from your left or your right, in front of you, behind you. You want to practice going both ways from behind. Okay, you're going to look, step, or the other way. Look. We have offensive swings and defensive. Offensive, obviously, as you're going after the person, so you're stepping towards your attacker. Defensive, you're stepping away and trying to protect yourself. Okay, so that's just a regular swing. The only other swing that I have is when this is what I call a holster. You have it in your armpit, you should have the horn up. And from this, obviously, it's just a swing right over here. 203 miles an hour at least. Just learn how to do it. And it does take about 2 or 3 swings to figure it out. Okay? It's one hell of a thing. If something happened, I would rather be in this position right here. I can take out the guy's knee, I can take off his head. If you do hit the person in the head with the cane in one hand, you will kill them. I haven't been able to verify that. I haven't anybody volunteer to let me do it. But logically, it's easy because this thing goes really fast. And swinging it this way, even this way. You hit them in the head, and you're probably going to kill them. So I recommend, depending on the situation, myself, if I'm fighting more than one person, the first guy's probably not going to live. I'd rather be tried by 12 than carried by 6. Yeah, I'm 39 and a half, and I don't know how much time I have left. So it's up to you on that part. When I carry my cane, most of the time, especially in the airport, you see me carrying it like this. There's no laws on how to carry the cane. You're allowed to carry a cane anywhere in the world because of the Disability Act. The HIPAA Act, like Tom told you the other day, is medical. It's none of their business what your medical problems are. And that's the HIPAA Act covers that. So if you do have some idiot that's giving you a hard time, you can say Disability Act. If that doesn't scare them, and say, well, the HIPAA Act is also there, and you're going to be seeing my lawyer here in about a few minutes. The cane is a medical device, and they have no reason why you should have to explain why you're carrying a cane. As long as you don't have a cane that's too sharp, you should have no problems. They don't like sharp points, so they very rarely make a sharp pointing cane unless you ask them to. I can make them sharp enough where you stick the horn on the end of your finger, and I did take one of these through the Senate building in Washington, D.C. about 4 years ago. I can make the finger bleed. That's how sharp I can get myself. Okay? The shark's teeth, I had that one filed down, so if you took your finger and went like that, it would cut your finger. When they took it, they put it through the x-ray machine. He said, "Do you need any help, sir?" I said, "No, I'm doing fine." And they took away my girlfriend's perfume bottle because that can spray poison. Should have got us some new Congress back then. I don't know what I was thinking. But anyway, moving on to the strikes, we have the horizontal strikes, low, which is below the waist, medium, which is between the waist and the shoulders, and high, which would be a killing strike, will be above the shoulders. Okay? So try to stay away from that area unless, I mean, if you have 2 or 3 guys coming at you, which nowadays, statistically, you have at least 3 of them. I had an incident in Lake Tahoe where I had 6 people to play with. They don't play by themselves anymore. So stay awake, and if something's coming on at you, look around. He probably has a friend or 2. That's how they're hanging up. You think about it, only 2% or 2.5% of the people in the United States take any kind of self-defense. That's not very many people. So the chances of someone coming to you that even knows how to fight is pretty rare. That's why they always have a buddy with them. Even in the home invasions, there's 2 or 3 of them. Okay? So horizontal strikes, then we have diagonal strikes. Right to left going down, left to right coming up, right to left going up, left to right coming down. Practice all these, okay? You can practice this way, hard. Practice as hard as you can. Get it whipping. Learn how to do that stuff. Then we have vertical strikes coming down, vertical strikes coming up. Just don't practice coming up this way. You can come up this way, you can come up this way, you can come up this way. Depending on the situation and what you have to do. Like this guy's giving me a hard time, I say, "I'm going to see you later." Take care of business on your way out. Make sense? Same thing over here, so always practice. Then you have two-handed baseball swings. All the two-handed stuff is pretty much in Dana Abbott's very good friend of mine. He's very well known for samurai sword techniques. All the samurai sword techniques are done with what you want to call a baseball swing. Okay? A lot more power. And with the samurai stuff, you're in a tripod, so if you're holding it over here, you're in a tripod, and it's a good way to fight. It really helps a lot of seniors that have a lot of balance issues. Any questions on the swings? And the strikes. Now, the block and the strike, putting it together. So when you do a low block, one-handed low block, you want to do the block and you want to automatically come into a strike. When you practice at home or wherever you practice, put the strike with it. And don't do the same strike all the time. There's 26 ways to hold this cane. Try to do a different type of attack each time you do it. So if you do it here one way that time, you can go block over here, block, come back around to the top. Block, strike with the crook. Block, strike with the crook, grab the neck, use your knee. Don't forget when you have this cane, you still have your elbows and knees to play with. I don't ever hit anybody with my head. That's my computer. I don't want to damage it. I've got enough damage already just from life. Okay? So when you get in a situation, especially when you start using this cane with 2 hands, don't forget to use the elbows. They help out. And the knees. So, if you're doing a high block, strike, high block, hit. When something's happening here, if I'm fighting Dennis right here, right now, he might think I'm going to have to take a step to hit him. No, we're going to do a switch hands. Okay, learn how to switch hands. All comes in handy. Know where to hit somebody, no matter where. I do a lot of stuff with pressure point guys. In fact, the Dillman guys over in England really want me to get a tape together with pressure point fighting. We have a few stuff on that UK tape that someone bought here earlier. I think you already left. Is that you? I'm not sure. Oh, okay. I would tape from to the UK. There's a pressure point fighting in it. Okay, to me, no matter where you hit somebody with this cane, it's going to hurt. And if you get it within 6 or 7 inches of the pressure point, it's probably going to knock them out anyway. Okay? So whenever you do a block, add a strike to it. If you're doing a two-handed block down, get a strike going in, whatever you're going to do. Always make it so a block is incorporated with a strike. Because you do not want to be on the defense all the time. Back ever. It's harder to block somebody coming at you, don't know what's going on, than sitting there making this guy do all the blocks. Am I making sense here? Any questions so far? So blocks and strikes, practice as you can, and every time you do a block, add a strike to it. Have some fun with it. Try to figure out how many different ways you can hold the cane too. Two-handed fighting. Besides the baseball swing, holding the cane here. I like to hold it in about 8 inches on each side. Striking. Horizontal strikes. Diagonal strikes. Straight in strikes. Turning your hand over changes the dynamics of how far you can strike. This is, they say sometimes more powerful, but I can only go this far. I turn my hand over, I can get another 8 inches out of that sucker. Try it both ways. I don't recommend you start playing pool. I'm not going to do much for you. Okay? Although I have played pool with my cane just for fun. Okay? Two-handed fighting is for close-up stuff. And you won't be able to kill them or hit them in the head, you're not going to be killing them. So two-handed stuff, if you have to be that close, is great. And don't forget, this way, you change hands, it's a different weapon. You still got that crook. That crook is a lot of fun to play with. And you remember, if you're swinging the cane, you swing it like this. This way, you're going to hit it 7 inches sooner. And you can kind of go around corners like that stuff that Tom was showing about hostage situations. Someone's got Dennis, I can go around and hit the guy in the head without hitting him in the head. If I hit him with the horn.
Show him that.
Should I? Or we could.
Show him that.
Okay, why don't you grab Dennis by the back and kind of a bear hug or something? So if you have him and you're hiding behind him, okay? Boom. I'm not going to touch Dennis. Boom. I'm not going to touch Dennis. But I'm going to crack your skull.
Turn the other way, please.
Yeah, here.
Too.
That makes sense? And this crook's a lot of fun. I can even pull Dennis out of the way now. Save his life.
He breaks his neck, but he saved my life.
You want to walk again. Play with this crook. It's what makes the tool. And it's what makes the tool legal to carry. This turns this into a medical device. In California, New York, and Illinois, a straight cane is now a bludgeon weapon. And other states are talking about following it. To me, that's kind of stupid. Because this is the same weapon, but it's got a meat hook on the end. So you can have a lot more fun with it. Okay, the laws are getting out there. I don't know why they don't want us to be able to arm ourselves. And it's, I don't know. I think this whole world's going crazy with it. I won't get into politics right now. Okay? Any questions on that part of it? Now the exercise system, you can do with or without bands. If you want to stretch and get up in the morning, you can't beat the stretching here. You'll do this for a couple seconds. What we're going to do next is we're going to get our partners and we're going to spend the rest of the time, because I don't know how much time we got left, probably an hour and a half, we're going to go through different techniques. There are thousands of techniques, depending on what they're coming at you with, how many people there are, and what are they attacking you with. Do you have any knives or guns here? We can practice. Yeah, we can knives. We can practice some disarms later on. Disarming a cane from a knife is fun. Knives always used to scare me until I got this. I'm still scared of knives because I've seen that you get cut and I don't want to have my guts hanging on the floor or my back all opened up, whatever's going on with it. But when you have a 3-foot object and they have an 8-inch object, you have a good chance of not getting cut. I was at the Battle of Atlanta. This was back in probably '99. I got on the elevator. A gentleman got on with me, and he looked at me, pushed a button, pulled out a knife. I went, And I looked at him, I kind of like saying, your move. He started saying, okay? People in that, good, that'll work fine. People that attack the bathrooms all the time. You have your cane, if you can't keep it with you while you're doing your thing, keep it where it's close by. A lot of these guys are grabbing you while you're taking your leak, you don't have that problem, but they'll snatch you up against the urinal and rob you. One of my students was attacked in Puerto Rico. He didn't have to tell the bartender there was somebody laying down the bathroom bleeding. He was attacked. Most islands don't like people being attacked because it hurts their tourism economy. They don't want to have that kind of problem. What amazed me when I was in Thailand, you know, nobody's attacked out there because the police won't stand for it. If anybody on that island attacks any of the tourists, they got a lot of problems because they don't want their tourism to stop. That's where they make their money. Anybody been to Thailand? Beautiful place. Beautiful place. I can go in deeper with it, but don't want to talk about that kind of stuff. But Thailand and Vietnam are beautiful. They love Americans because they have money. They're very depressed countries. When I went over there, the baht was worth $42 to 1. That's a real good business. Okay, let's get a partner and we'll go over a couple of the same techniques we did on Saturday. Remind yourself what's going on. One person will use a cane, one won't have to. Unless you guys want to do some cane on cane for right now. To learn what it feels like to have somebody swinging at you. Why don't we do that then? Get a partner and keep your cane.
You?
This is always a good exercise because most people in schools, for some reason, when they teach you a weapon, they don't have anybody attack you with it. You get to do out there and play your katas and stuff. But when you get attacked by somebody, all of a sudden you realize you got to move, get out of the way. A lot of people, when they first get attacked, they stand there, they don't want to move. For some reason, they think this is sacred ground, and they're not going to get hurt if they don't move their feet. You got to move your feet. You got to dance, whatever you want to call it. Let's start off with a simple exercise. Dennis, you and I will do something. I'm going to use this cane here so I can show this cane later on. So I'm going to do is I'm going to try to hit you in the knee, and you're going to block it. Okay? Okay. Now I want you to block it again. Now try to block it a different way. Okay? And then after you block it, you try to hit me, but don't hit me. Get close to it. So. Good. Okay. So the first two are the blocks. The second one, you come back and attack. Don't hit the other person. Stay if you can at least 3 or 4 inches away from when you're doing your strike. But as you do the block, see if you can move and block it more than one way. Okay. Then the next one we're going to do is the other leg. Here. Okay. You lift slow on that one. Okay. And the third one. Okay, so you did all 3 blocks the same. Try to change the blocking a little bit too. And the last one I want you to do is a straight in poke. Okay, straight ins are the hardest ones to block. And remember, if you do have hands, unless they're attacking you with a sword, you can use your hand to take that tool away. And when someone's coming with a straight poke, learn how to go sideways. You're a lot thinner. A lot of us are a lot thinner sideways than we are this way. Okay? So move those feet, stay out of the way. After you guys play with the legs a little bit, and I feel you're safe, we're going to move it up to below the shoulders. And then later on your own, you will attack without people knowing where you're going to be hitting. That's when it comes fun. Okay? When you get that advanced, I recommend you get as much gear on as you can. Because when you're playing back and forth, hitting each other, somebody's going to get bruised. Okay? Baseball pads are nice because they're hard and they got the plastic on them and you're not going to get hurt. Regular rubber things are going to slow the hit down a little bit, but they go right through there real quick. Cane is a strong tool, especially when you have the hickory ones are a little bit more dense and stronger than the oak ones. You'll see when you start playing that the oak canes will probably dent up a little bit where the hickory ones won't. Okay? So once again, we're going to 3 strikes, 1 leg, 3 strikes on the other leg, and then 3 3 straight-in pokes. Straight-in pokes are what's probably gonna happen in the street. Okay? And after you guys get used to that, we'll do some gun and knife takeaways. Get your partner to play.
You start with me.
Below the way. Let's go one more time. Okay?
Yeah, that was coming into it.
Okay.
You can't think of everything.
Yeah, let's start getting easier for you.
I know Hugh was actually standing in Hobby, so.
Good, now let's strike back at
Now.
Yeah, every third one strike back. And you
See, no
don't sit
fair.
there, you have to start a blocker. The person on that third one, don't stand there and let him hit you, try to block it yourself. Hello? Dennis, try to block it. I know that, but he just struck at you, didn't he?
Wow.
No, he just blocked it. Yeah, he came right in your head and you stood there. Right, okay, try to block it. Knock it away. There you go. Remember, you're trying to make yourself think. I do not.
I'm gonna hold back.
Fuck down this low.
Okay.
I don't know, yeah.
I'm still. I'm dead.
I would not, do 2 games.
Okay, most blocks below you use 2 hands, you know.
First time.
You gotta sleep. Wait. What you can do. Get up, turn above the knee.
Wasn't there one that deals?
Fun yet?
Nice hobby, Jimmy.
Okay, Hardo! Get a new partner. Same thing, new partner. Everybody fights different.
Okay, don't hurt me.
Don't hurt me.
I will. I can't remember.
Okay, continue. All the way.
Okay.
I've been doing it right-handed. Okay. I'm doing it wrong. I'm moving to this side. Make sure you want to put the weapon on the opposite way of your body. You never want to go like this. What you're doing is you're bringing the weapon into your chest. Unless, of course, you step back.
We're not doing a counter two instead of black.
Same. All right, come in me a few times. Any way you want. Doesn't matter.
A couple of these. Let me couple of shin sacks there.
Being in the car. On either side.
It happens when you get 39, we're used to it.
Okay, that was,
Right.
that surprised you. No?
Try it again. If I follow through. Okay, how about you?
Right now, keep them down below the waist.
This way, John.
Good. Now stretch.
That's a possibility, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
That way.
Good, that's right.
That's the hardest to block.
What's coming down, I would come down like this instead of trying to reach down. You have more room.
Try one of those on me, because I'm trying
So
to.
if I hit you, there you
Whoops, that's a big hand. Yeah, just like that fast.
You'll get up. You might want to wake up.
It's a hard accurate reminder, yeah.
We all learn the hard way.
I don't think I use my hand on it, do I?
Well, you could do it one hand,
Don't step too
Whatever
much.
you gotta do, the time is happening.
right?
Probably should move more.
No, you're doing fine.
Whoops, yeah, well, I would've got a nose for that.
That time you were moving, you moved the weapon the same way you were going.
Make sure you get 2 strikes.
So you should be anticipating just by
Like when we.
You should get used to putting this other hand by your chest.
They have hook the hook.
Grab it as accurate as possible, otherwise you're gonna wish you did it.
Same thing, if I'm gonna hit you with a cane,
Telegraph it a little.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
If you come down, it's like,
Well,
I know that you can come up like that.
with this, you have to telegraph to get any power. I mean, you can't just do that. Unless you're on gut.
Do that always, I hit it down here, that you went to my head, so I would come up like this.
I'm not doing this to hurt. I'm just trying to save you. One more time. And then you get back.
Oh, yeah.
Well, your hand and your head.
Well, I'm supposed to. If you hit me, I'm supposed to block it.
I'm just gonna select you not random.
Slowly. I'll turn one off, try to attack it, and I'll try to block it.
Okay.
We don't want to.
Whoops. Oh, yeah, wait, I gotta get in the blockage.
Strike.
Third one off.
Okay, Pardo, let's get one new partner. Please try to stay away from the hands until I can verify that you're halfway decent, you're gonna kill each other.
Hi.
How could I? Here, go in there.
Okay, let's go. I'll let you move up to the shoulders, so it's below the shoulders. Same thing. Try to break the elbow, hit the shoulder, waist. Just tell the guy which side you're going to be doing, and I'll let him figure out the rest. Slow to start with, build up a little bit faster. Never go over 3/4 speed.
You're gonna strike your back.
I'm gonna strike you.
What?
So, if I come back, I gotta block, try to block.
This way, you do it
I'm
here.
trying to hit
Who
you.
knows what they're doing, you're gonna have a bunch of broken legs. Whatever. You're still gonna be out of commission for about 6 weeks.
Oh, I'm good at that.
There you go. Yeah, you never watch your elbow on in front of that, your finger, or your thumb, or your baby finger.
Try to not be so
The
unsure.
guy knows anything
Well,
about
sit up, sit up right hand.
Look at where it's at.
Okay, that one block is pretty worthless.
That one, this one? Okay, try that again.
There you go. Get it down so he can't hit you with it.
Okay.
Good.
That's probably a good idea.
So when he throws one at you, you try to block it. Because that's gonna happen in the street.
So, do that one more time, attack me, I'll attack you back and you try to block it. No, you're good.
I'm gonna have to do it.
I come here.
I think I'm doing well with two hands because I'm using my right arm.
Go ahead, use your left.
Go left.
Because he's not
that's
gonna
what you're
attack
gonna
all the time.
No, I'm gonna come at you this way.
Right there, ahead until you get.
Sorry about that.
Sweet. Come out of the way.
Sorry, I gotta go away from that.
Yeah, my head's on. Like your computer.
I'll come at you. I'll come at you.
3 or 4 times since I saw it.
I don't know if that's a good one or not.
It worked. But try to hit me this time.
Behind the ball.
Shoulder and
I'm gonna go all back.
anywhere.
Anyway, let me know. Straight in, let me know.
I like those low hits. That's how you get kind of confident.
What's that?
The low hits really get the guy out and
Yeah, you're not looking for it. I'll try to get you.
Okay, you start focusing. Don't get that bad habit. Pull it back really fast.
we do it from the one side to give it easy.
Get yourself a bad habit going.
That's
That would work.
laid it more.
Bring it up, or just come up. Or the other way. Let's come over.
Oh, yeah, you know.
Good. Good. That's better. I keep going through your head. I'm apologizing.
You haven't hit me.
You do that a lot in Aikido.
You never know.
Yeah, right.
Okay, Gordo. We're gonna do something that I usually do at the beginning of class, but I'm gonna give you guys a break. I wanna do the exercises and the warm-ups, because if you do this too much without warming up, you're gonna develop tendonitis. Okay? So, you can either put your cane down, I like to hold the cane in the other hand, whatever you wanna do. Take your fingers, put it down, arm straight. Take your hand, push on those knuckles, straighten out that arm as straight as you can. Pull as hard as you can until it starts to hurt a little bit. Bring it in, keeping the pressure all the way back and forth. Up, try to touch your shoulder. Let's just do it 3 times. Get it loose. Okay. Now, turn your fingers straight up. Grab all 4 of your fingers and push them down and touch your fingers to your forearm. I'm almost there. Give or take a few inches. Okay. Now, 1 finger at a time. I like you to have it pull it and breathe. Nice deep breath. Exhale and pull. Next finger. On my tapes, I've changed this a lot because doing these stretches really helps you out in health and everything else. Okay. Next finger. Pull and then pull. Nice full deep breath. Exhale and pull. And the last finger. Pull, thumb, push, all 4 fingers again. Bring your hand over, fingers pointing down, grab, then slightly sideways. To me, being a machinist for 40 years, this really hurts me because I used to work on engines and stuff, and sometimes that drill would hit the web, and if I saw one guy flipping around my shop once, but anyway, it gets to your wrist quite a bit. And the last one, fingers up, and then once again, shoulder, chest, keeping that pressure on, shake it out. Same thing with the other side, up, down, pull. There's enough pressure where you can really feel it there in the forearm. Keep the pressure on, chest, shoulder. Depending on how much time you have, I like to tell my students do it 10 times, 3 times will get you where you're going though. Fingers up, pull. 1 finger at a time. Now, when you're doing this hitting and stuff, the next round we're going to do with our left hands.
Oh, good.
In the Grandmaster system, let's put it this way, you have to do it with your non-dominant hand. You have to learn, if you want to get ranked in the system, you have to do it right hand, left hand. On the street, depending, you don't know what's going to happen, you might have a bad wrist that day, you might be in a situation where you can't even use one side or the other because you're up against a wall or something. So you got to learn how to use the cane with both hands. To go for the black belt, the ranking, the katas, you have to do it right-handed and left-handed. Okay, thumb. In here. And hand over, pull sideways. Up. Shake it up. Okay, next. Grab the cane, balance point, grab it hard. The other hand about 1 inch from your wrist, 180 degrees. You don't want to do it fast, you're loosening up what you're doing. Okay, 10 times is plenty. Put your hand by your elbow, go 180 degrees, still keeping the cane tight. Loosening up everything on your shoulder on down. Last one, loosen up the grip, get the cane to go at least 360 degrees. Loosen up everything there. Switch hands, same thing. Short 180s. Elbow, 280s. You don't have to go real fast, we're trying to loosen up. Shoulder, loosen the grip, 360 degrees. This also gets you coordinated so you don't lose your grip once in a while. You gotta go straight. Okay? Now the next one. This is to me one of the most important things. Grab the cane with the crook out in front of you here. As you can see, I'm cheating, I'm using a light one, so, but I'm old so I can do this. Free hand goes up here. I want you to come down. Your mother-in-law's most precious vase is on the floor. You're going to swing as hard as you can and miss it by a hair. And you're going to pull up as fast as you can. So it'll be from here. You should get in a fighting stance. If you want to be like this, fine, but I recommend you do it from here. When you're by yourself, you might even start walking and doing it at the same time. Okay, so it's down and up. Let's do 20 of them. 1, 2, 3, pull back faster. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Both sides. You're going to come down, pull up, go over the other side, down and up. I don't want to see this. Yeah, it's for getting your arm strong, so it's here to here, like you're going to break both of his ankles. Here we go. 1, we'll do 20 of these. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This thing's so flexible, it's harder to work with. 9, 7 or 9. How about that? 10. 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait till we get the non-dominant hand. You think it hurts now?
That one works.
7, 8, 9, and 20. Good. Change hands. Free hand up here. Doing one side. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pull back as hard as you can. Fast. You're building up that muscle. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. It's not this way. You're using your wrist. Pull back. Whole different way to do it. Good, nice trying though. Okay, both sides. 1 and over. You're using that wrist. You want to make sure you pull. Get that wrist good and strong. Here we go. And 20 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Harder. 7, 8, 9, You have to go like this, sir. From here, all the way back over. All the way back over. Here, here. There you go. Don't swing it back and forth. Stop it. You're going this way. You want to stop it right here, pull it back. Stop it here, pull it back. You're working on getting that forearm strong. There you go. Feel the difference? Bet you do. Okay. You already do it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hand back to the other hand. Hand up here. Now, we're going to do 30 of these. We're going to pretend like we're hitting somebody your size. So if I'm hitting with 10 it's going to be ear, ear, head. Okay? You probably start ear, ear, head. You might even start going down towards the knee. Keep it up to the ear. Okay? 3 strikes. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2. Ear, ear, 3. Ear, ear, 4. Ear, ear, 5. 6. 7. 8. Good. 9. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's getting heavy. 16.
No.
17. Well, it is for me.
Choke up.
Okay, 10 more. 1, 2, harder. 3, 4, 5. No problem. I'm 39 and a half. I know what it's like. Okay. Now you think that was hard. Now what you do the non-dominant hand. Okay. Last one. Ear, ear, head. 30 of them. 1. If it gets too heavy, choke it up. It gets easier if you choke it. If it's still too heavy, you can start doing it this way, but you do want to learn how to get it back over here. Okay, where are we? Start over again?
29.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Closing your eyes and grinning doesn't make it any easier. Just FYI.
Look at myself in the mirror.
Like I tell my students, closing your eyes when that fist is coming towards your face, it's still going to hurt. Keep the eyes open and maybe your brain will tell you to move. Where are we at? We're going to start over.
87.
Oh, 87? Okay. Let's do 10 more. And 1, 2, ear, ear, head, ear, ear, 5, ear, ear, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Try to build yourself up to about 60 of those, of each and every one. By the time you hit black belt level, you should be able to do 60 of them. So. Okay? Any questions on that part? Okay, it's very important. That builds up your strength. And when you're using this tool, medical device, you are in charge of it. That's why I want you to do that. In case for some reason you're about to hit somebody and you found out you don't want to hit them. If you don't have the strength to stop that strike, you're going to hit them. You want to have complete control of the weapon you're playing. I hope that makes sense to you. But this thing here, and plus, you're going to be a lot stronger hitting the guy if you have to, doing this stuff. And you're going to be surprised when you have to open up jars for your wife, or your golf swing is going to be a lot better. It all works in this forearm here. It really straightens it up. Okay, let's work on some knives and gun takeaways. One person come out. How many guns you got? Okay, so we got partners up to about 5. So 1, 2, 3 guns. All 4 guns. Here we go. Take one. Take one. Take one. If you have a real gun, don't bring it out, please. You got a real one. We got another one here. Everybody got a gun yet?
I don't have a gun. I need one. Here.
Okay. Now, don't kill anybody with this stuff. Guns and knives, as far as takeaways, are pretty close to the same. You do not want to hit the weapon. You want to hit what is controlling the weapon. And then you want to hit the brain. okay, depending on your situation. When you guys practice disarms empty-handed, you just want to make sure that barrel is gone. Most of the stuff I train my kids, instead of shooting down the side of the back, try to drop and put the gun up towards the ceiling, because if it goes off, the collateral damage will be a lot less. There's lots of different ways to disarm. Some work, some don't. Okay? With a cane, you do have an 3-foot advantage. If somebody comes into the store, you want to make sure all of a sudden, even if you don't have to carry a cane, this cane becomes vital. You want that guy to think this cane is your crutch. Okay? You want to try to be a...
Tip your hand, yeah.
Yeah, because if somebody comes in and you sit there and go like this, you might shoot your ass. Okay, if you're like this and go, don't shoot me. It's a different story. And obviously, if you can, you want him to look away for a split second so you can come down and hit him. When we do these figure eights, which we're going to do later and stuff, when you get going, you get that thing to whip down, you hit his hand, it's going to break both bones in the arm, depending where you hit it. Okay? And you want to also hit it, like your mother-in-law's over here, your wife's over here, you got to make the decision which one. No, just kidding. Okay? But you want to make sure that barrel is away from the ground down to the cross. Get up. I don't like going down because you have too much space going down. When you go up, you can drop down and get the barrel up faster. Okay? So, Dennis, if we're playing here, starting right here. Oh, please don't shoot. Okay? You want to aim, and if you do step, you want to be able to not hit the gun like I just did. You want to hit the hand. That's important. And the next shot's going to go right to the head. So if I'm stepping there, he's got the gun over here. Please don't shoot me. Oh, wham, 1, 2. Take out the computer. Anything you hit him with the head is probably going to at least knock him out. Okay? You might even want to go 1, 2. If he has a friend, you got to worry about that too. So every situation is going to be different. So practice right now, having fun. The cane's up, your hand up here. That's not going to work very well, is it? So you really want to try to step out of the way. If you're moving, whoever moves first is usually going to get away with it. Because when I move, and he hasn't pulled that trigger yet, I'm probably going to be out of the way, especially if he's going over here. It's out of my way now. Next shot's going to be to the head. Making sense? Make up some of the stuff however you want to do it. Have some fun. Do not hurt your partner because you guys have wooden canes. Go at about half speed. Let it go into there. But move those feet as fast as you can. Get that barrel away from you. If your loved one's by your side or whatever, now you just pretend like you're by yourself. Don't worry about that. Yes, sir.
Is there an advantage in coming from a certain side, the left or the right?
Depends on the situation.
Does it?
Yeah, every situation is going to be different. I tell you 15 ways to do it right now. You need number 17 when you're out in the street. Okay? So just do what the situation is right now. Practice doing this stuff in a hallway, in the bathroom. Okay? I have a private student. He comes to me once a week, and he was doing really good. And then I said, okay, come here. And we got in the hallway. His whole face went, you don't have any room. The cane's too big. What do? You have to change all your way of thinking. So when you do this stuff, get in a situation where that you could happen in. Okay? You're walking down the hallway and this guy's got a knife. You should keep your eye on this guy that's walking down the hallway. He can cut you in half in a heartbeat. You don't take a look at his hands to see if he's got anything in them. You got to stay more aware today than you ever did before. So practice this stuff in hallways, in cars. The guys in there, have your cane where it's accessible, so if something happens, you can grab the things, shove it through the window and grab them. I think if you looked at my website, you'll see me hitting Tom in the throat with one of my canes that has a head knocker on it. Cane with a head knocker that's a little bump. If I hit you in the throat, it's not going to slip off. It'll definitely collapse your throat, whatever I'm going to hit you with. At first, I called it a head knocker, but if the guy has to go to court, I kind of changed the name to my ultimate personal protection cane instead of a head knocker on there. Because I want to keep it so it's at least trouble for you when something happens. I do have a new cane guy. He's going for his black belt in about 3 weeks, but he's a paralegal, so he set me up with all the legal stuff. I mean, I've been very lucky. In 20 years, I haven't had any injuries, and I haven't had any real dumb people. I've had a few, but you're playing with the cane, so legally, you gotta protect yourself nowadays. So whenever I sell anything anymore, they're getting a little disclaimer, saying that if you kill somebody, it's not my fault. Okay? So take your time, play with the gun, see what you can do, step around, see what is the best technique for you. Everybody's different. It's just like between Tom and I, the techniques that work for Tom probably won't work for me. He's twice my size. And I know that I see Tom, I go, oh, I'm gonna take care of myself, he gets mad. Okay, I mean, you gotta think about every situation you can. Okay? So, when you see somebody coming down the street, they look funny, saying, you might say, well, if he came at me, the first thing I'm gonna do is slap. Take out his knee, take out his throat, take over the eyes. Okay? Whenever I teach ladies, I say the first thing I recommend you go for is the eyes. Second is the throat, the windpipe. Then the knees. The groin's one of the last things. Most guys have been hitting the groin before and they can get over it real quick if they're a bad person. Just FYI. But if they have their eyes and they can't see it, you just lay your fingertips on top of the eyes. You guys know they start watering. You poke them out, they don't want to be there anymore. Get your partner, get a new one, and start playing with the guns.
Shooting, pick them up. With your right hand.
My left.
You gotta finish it. Just going like that, not gonna help very much.
Oh,
Are you saying, oh, excuse me, you shouldn't point that at me? Maybe you should go like this, boom. Take care of two things.
You still have your gun.
okay.
You gotta disarm them.
Good.
So whatever you're gonna do, sideways or straight. I got boom, right.
Well, we're not hurting today.
Always hurt. Like, if I move sideways, right?
You were over going.
Straight in. He might pull it towards you.
Now, if I see you move, boom, especially with your hand, see that here.
Make yourself
Skinny.
Yeah, make yourself skinny.
Here, harder than it's difficult to go around this way.
Good, very good. Yeah.
Right here.
Right, just like that. That's good.
He's got this here.
My first instinct is to hit.
Good, good. That's it, good. Yeah, I don't want to lose But that's good. That's from what you know also, besides, get out of the way of that.
That side here.
Get that shoulder belt.
If you aim this
Try
way,
to think of more than one technique.
this way,
You do the same thing 5 times. Change around a little bit. That won't help.
Shoot me.
here, I'll hold this here.
Alright, so I'm gonna have to come around, push it off. Good.
You don't want to push, you want to hit. You want to break that arm.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want to go that way because you're crossing.
Oh, you shoot with the field with the right hand.
Boom, I will shoot that way, so that's how movement.
So I'll be out, would I be out of the way?
No, I would probably got you here.
Okay.
A good way to practice these is
That's all right.
yeah, either way.
I'm gonna try. So if you're like this.
Or 9mm.
Yeah, he didn't knock it out of my hand.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, that would
Right
do
here,
it.
you had it in that hand. I have this.
Oh,
Turn.
oh, that would do it too.
You have to do it here, you have to turn. That's how you do it. One turn.
Oh, okay.
Now, the only thing I need is to put, basically you want.
I went to the ribs, right?
I blocked you and then I went to the hand down here. So it's in your left hand. Yeah, so. That's your left hand. Turn by side.
Someone else I know has a telephone pole they carry around.
So next,
I can't believe it.
yeah, and your hand, your arm might get you down and keep it down here. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, so as soon as you do your move, the hand comes up, right?
Yeah, I am.
Now just grab both hands, a little bit closer, bring your return wrist to it,
Very simple.
bring your hand down.
You wanna get that over
With a
there?
piece of wood.
Now, just strike across my head.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. A lot of damage.
Now,
Why don't we take a 2-minute break, get a drink of water, mainly because I need one.
No, thank you.
So, we'll start in 5 and it's at 20 after.
Jim.
I was supposed to get a ride from Hugh.
Hi, Jim, how are
I
you?
was supposed to get a ride from Hugh.
Mosquito and you're doing jokes.
You know what, I'm really sorry, and my phone was dead.
Because I called you when you were.
It was in my car, and I think my phone starts to, if it gets too cold, it turns off. They've done that 3 or 4
What do you
times.
charge for the joysticks?
More than you probably want to pay. Yeah, the guy may not put a grip on it. Yeah, but yeah, you have to figure out how to do it, either roll into it, pick it up, or find an opportunity. Okay, spinning a cane. To me, it's vital. I have some martial arts that think that people shouldn't even have to learn how to use the crook part of the cane. To me, if you don't have a crook part of the cane, you have a stick. Learn how to use everything that's on this cane because everything is vital to your existence, or your survival, I should say. Side spins, or side twirls. Never spin the cane towards your face. Number of reasons. One, you're going to smack yourself in the face when you're practicing. Unless you don't like your face, then you don't have to worry about it. But when you go on to other techniques, that doesn't work when you're spinning it in this direction. So learn how to spin it towards the back of your head. Okay? You just want to have your elbow bent. It's over about 2 inches. And come over here, and you can just put these 2 fingers together and get it to twirl. And you can get it going as fast as you want to get it going. Be careful. If you have a good-looking girl walk by or somebody you like looking at, it's going to hit you in the back of the head. Or it might hit you between the legs. It will hit you. So start from here. Free hands up here. See how well we're doing here. Now see how you retrieve that cane? You bend over and you pick it up. That's the best way to do it.
Yes. Exactly, bounce up. I'll take the rubber part.
They do have ways of doing the footwork to get it on. I haven't done that in years. So maybe I'll get back to this, seeing how it works. Okay? Now see, you're spinning your cane like an eskrima stick. Don't bend your wrist around. If you see, I don't bend my wrist at all. The main reason because a lot of seniors start getting arthritis, and you can't play with your wrist. And there's no reason to do it because you can get this thing going a lot faster doing this than trying to spin your wrist around, twirling it. Okay, I can always tell when the guys are playing with a screamer or a niece because they always try to put their wrist into it. You don't use it, you get it going a lot faster. It's a lot easier. Now from here, you want to go into a figure 8. A figure 8, make a nice lazy 8. Hold the cane tight. Okay? When you get that 8 going, get a little bit bigger 8 here, and then loosen your grip.
Hold it more here or more here?
Right on the top. Right on the top. Right on the top of the crook. When you start spinning it, it'll go where it's going to be comfortable for you. Okay? Go back to a side spin. Back to figure 8. Side. Switching hands. You're doing a figure 8, just like you're clapping hands. Just switch hands. And switch your hand being up by your chest. Relax. The best part to do is relax. It's funny, when I teach most people doing this, I get them started, then I leave the room. For some reason, I cause people a lot of stress. Okay? But it's nice and easy, and you can get it going quicker if you want to. Then go back, clap your hand. Side twirl, figure 8, switch hands, side twirl the other side. It's a good exercise to do. And later on, when you get good at that, we're going to take this horn right now. You got this thing with your horn towards the rear. You learn how to side twirl, you learn how to reverse the horn while it's in the air. That takes practice. Okay? In slow motion, the way to do it, start out from over here. You have the horn on the inside. You give it enough spin to go around 1.5 times. What's going on? It's going over my thumb, over my knuckles, and I catch it. I tell my students, if you can do this 10 times in a row without dropping the cane, you're doing the same thing over here. What you do over here, you turn your wrist, it goes around your thumb, over your knuckles, and you catch it, put it in your armpit. Okay? And it's just getting to know the cane. If you have a situation, you see 3 or 4 guys over there, you don't want to do this because you might lose it. An easy way to get it from here, from this position to this position, is just put it on the ground and turn it over. But I would like to learn, if you guys want to get into your second degree, in your next belt, you do have to learn how to do this. Now, a lot of my students will use their fingers and manipulate it over. I don't care how you get there. You don't have to do it the same way I do, as long as you can do it safely without dropping. Okay? So, side twirl, figure 8. Change hands, figure 8. Side twirl, figure 8. Switch hands, figure 8. Side twirl. Then later on, you learn how to reverse the horn into the air, bring it back to where it was, doing like that. So it's here, this reverses the horn, so it's up like this. Get it back, do the same thing back over here, and now it's facing the other direction. Okay? And you'll be hearing a lot of that.
That's another day.
Yeah.
Can I ask again, how do you turn your hand?
Yeah, you get slow motion.
Okay, slow motion, what you're doing is coming around over here. Your thumb stays over here, your fingers kind of go into a cup position. As the cane comes around, it goes on the back of your knuckles, and then when it hits your web, you close your hand. So slowly as I can, it's here and here. If you catch yourself doing this, you're doing it wrong. Your hand does not move, just from here to here. And then in slow motion, what I'm doing here is here. I turn my wrist and thumb out there, it goes around my thumb, and I hold it. Now the horn's in the air. The next one you want to do is a helicopter twirl. A helicopter twirl, you want to keep that parallel to the floor. You don't want to be going up and down. It's parallel to the floor. And this you have to bend your wrist. If you don't bend your wrist, you break it. Okay, if you go like that, it's going to break. So hold on to the top of the crook tight and just spin the cane around. Bend that wrist. Hold on to it tight. Bend the wrist. Try it with the cane up, it might be a little bit. You can do it either way. But hold on to it tight. Go slow to start with. Just go like this. Okay? Hold on to it tight and bend your wrist. You're not bending your wrist. Okay, yeah, there you go. Okay? And then just go a little bit quicker. I always like to go outside in. Left hand, same way. Towards the inside, so I'm hitting this way. And then when you have one of your bobs and stuff, you don't have any in here, you'll sit here and 1, 2, smack. It is a powerful tool. I had one guy who had a knife, and he says, I can take you and cut you, with the cane. He didn't see me doing this. I said, okay, come get me. Okay? He's not going to come and get me when he's spinning around like that. He'll either take his head off or take his knee out. Yeah. So you can go anywhere you want to and practice. When you're out there playing in the park, get a tree leaf. Aim for that tree leaf. You want to be able to hit something the size of a 50-cent piece. I used to say a silver dollar, but they keep getting smaller. Okay, something about 1.5 inches, 2 inches in diameter. That's how critical you want to be able to hit something with this thing. So when you're sitting here with the cane in the holster position, you want to be able to knock a leaf off the tree. Okay, so you can take somebody's knee out, you can take his toe off, you can take his nose off, depending on what the situation calls for. Or take their head off. Once again, you hit the person in the head, you're probably going to kill them. Okay, but there's so many, I think I might have told you the story before, but I have a gentleman, 72 years old, he's at a stop and rob, he's at a service station with a little store in it. That's what I call it. That's what they call them in California. And he had a little bit of cerebral palsy, so he shakes a little bit. He was leaning against his car, smoking a cigarette, and 3 punk kids came up to him and said, hey, old man, You got any extra smokes? How about some money? He stepped away from the car and went, what'd you say? He left. I've had at least 50 people in these last 20 years say they were in a foreign country, things happened, they did a figure eight with a holster, everything smoothed out. People, thugs, don't want to fight somebody who they think they might get hurt with. And once they see that this cane is not a crutch, they're gone. Because they realize it's a 3-foot stick. They don't know about how heavy yours is. This cane I have in my hand is pretty close to a tree trunk. It is heavy. Feel the difference between, way to feel the weight is hold it like that. Hold this thing compared to yours. Yeah. And the way it came, hold it like this. That's where you have the power. Feel that. I'm talking 2 ounces heavier. Yeah, you got the same way. All hickory is different, all wood is different. It depends on the time of the year they cut the tree down. They cut the tree down in the wintertime, all the sap's in the trunk. It's hibernating, it's good, it's dense. Springtime, it's feeding the leaves, feeding the branches, it's a lot less dense. So when you order a cane like I have, regular stock, and I named myself, I call it thumper stock. Because when I get canes, usually a couple hundred at a time, I have to go through them, make sure they're straight, and I weigh them. And I get about 10% of the canes are really, really heavy. Like Tom, the guy you met over here, he likes tree trunks. He swings tree trunks. They're heavy. I believe you should work out with the heaviest cane you can find, and then carry one around that's a little bit lighter, because you can move it faster. Make sense? Okay, there's just a few hints I'm throwing at you. But you work out with a cane like this, it's heavy, then you get one out in the street, you got a few shark's teeth here, you get a more aggressive horn, and you got yourself a tool here that's going to take care of business. Because when you have one of my street canes, which I have out there, even this one's not too bad, okay? Like everybody has one of these the same cut. I made them all the same for you guys to cut in here. Okay? But right here, if I put this here, move backwards. Move back. Okay? I'm making sense here? Try to find a heavy cane to work out with. And a lot of my students, they have 3 or 4 canes, they have dress canes. I have one guy just ordered a black one and a brown one. So make them both identical, but I want one black and one brown. You know, and he's ordering $275 canes.
One for show, one for blow.
That's it. One for black pants, one for brown pants, whatever the guy happens to be wearing.
He's color coordinated.
But cane, I'm trying to get it back to where it's stylish. The biggest problem I have is with seniors, cane makes them look old. Not really. Not if you learn how to walk with it. You don't want to walk like this. And I have a lot of my old seniors, they'll start playing the cane, they're starting to walk, and goes, I think I might test this thing. Best way to test it, I said, get yourself a $100 bill, stick it in your pocket, and walk down Watts. That's the street down in the LA area. High crime. Okay? The cane works, but you have to practice. Practice makes perfect. And there's so many different ways to do it. And you want to be able to, like as I said, practice different things. Every time you come back with a technique, do it different. Try to do 2 hands. Come in here, hook, grab, put your knee into it, put your elbows into it. Come back with a good aggressive attack. You shouldn't have to hit somebody over 3 times with a cane. Actually, you should have to hit them over once, depending on what drugs are on. Sometimes you hit somebody, you won't even know his arm's broken. Depending on what they're smoking or drinking or what they're doing with it. Okay? But you always want to have at least 2 or 3 hits ahead of the ball game. You probably won't have to do the second one. Half the techniques I show you people, you'd have to hold the guy up to complete it because he's already knocked out on the first hit. But it's fun to play with. You want to be able to do this thing any way you can. You guys want to spend a little extra time and do some one-steps now? Okay? Going back to your weapons, guns and knives, pretty close the same. You want to be able to hit that, defang the snake or dragon, whatever you want to call it, hit the bone. Hitting the weapon's not going to work very well. So you want to defang them and then knock them out. I do not feel sorry for anybody I was hit in the head with a cane if they're trying to shoot me with a gun or cut my throat. Okay, let's do these some techniques. We've already played hitting back and forth, so get a
Am I that scary?
Okay, first technique.
Oh, is that it?
This is usually the technique I show the first time in any seminar. You have about a 90% chance the person's going to be coming at you with the right hand. Okay? So as you go with the right hand, I'm going to step out of the way, throw a block over here. I want to throw this block hard enough to break his two bones in his arm. I want to hit him somewhere between the wrist and the elbow. And then I'm going to keep on going through. The next shot is going to take out his shin. And you see that I'm moving, okay? And just before I run away, I'm going to come over here and I can kill him. I can stand up taller. I can take out his leg. I can cripple him. Depends on what I feel like doing that day. So going back to it, half speed. He's coming in. I step away from there. Pop, strike, taking out whichever leg I want to. Coming back here, I can break the spine. I can come in here, I can make him go down, I can grab his throat. I mean, as Ed Parker used to say, the feast has just begun. I mean, you got a buffet back. So after you do the first two moves, do whatever you want to behind it. And then while you're doing the first two moves, if you can think of something else way to do it, try it. I don't mind. Your technique is going to save your life. Okay? Give it a try. Do it 5 times, at least, let's do it 10 times a piece. I know this technique works. I had one of my students had to use it. Let me show you again what we're doing. You can do this with one hand if you want to. If you want to put it on. Just come in here, step over and block.
Oh, it's on the outside.
Yeah, outside. I want to hit that hard enough to go down, and then I'm going to go in with the shin. And I'm going to put my wrist in that straight. That's the move. It's all one circular move. Once again, I'm here, I step out of the way, strike, strike. And as I come back here, I'm going to hit my head, come down, do some fun here, and then I'm going to call the police.
That makes a lot of sense.
Practice, go slow, until you get the technique, and go a little bit quicker as you figure it out. No race here, Paul. Learn how to learn this thing.
Either way. They're working on it.
Okay, so don't make it easy for yourself. Instead of hitting them like this, move another step. Start figuring out how to run down.
What am I doing for the step?
Step out. Right. You can pull his leg out.
It didn't feel comfortable the way I stepped.
No sense of being hurt. There you go. Good. Good. You guys doing different techniques already?
But I'm still fine.
Okay. Strike him with his left. Your left hand.
Good thing you guys are
So you have this in your left hand. What do you want to do? Left hand or right hand? Now you do that. You attack him with your left. They're going to go over there. Good. Hit the shin. Hit the shin. Keep on stepping behind. Now do something back to the way. That's not going to hurt.
Once I see it, I just visualize it in my head. Then I would come here, go up, or go back.
Keep going. Make sure you can still going. If you stop here and you get
Also a toe sheet.
Ah, okay.
And you're back here, that's when you can have some fun. I can cripple them, make them stand up taller, I can pull out a leg, I can put in here, I can put this around his throat.
Is that what it's called? That's actually which is the side.
And then I'm still walking.
Scare them like this, and they want to get away.
I hope. That would be my dream.
Try and make it a circle. Knock it away and then hit my shin.
I come across the front way.
Well, you're hitting my side.
Well, it's still scare them.
It scares them. But if you hit my shin, it's more like you want over.
Right to the throat.
Okay, so
Right, that's me. You're getting out of the way.
Try to hit down by the shin instead of the top of the thighs.
okay.
So hitting here.
Yeah. Am I too short for him?
A little bit more down. Remember when we were doing
Am I doing good?
Okay, has everybody had enough time on this one? It's not hard. Just remember, in a situation, you want to hit them as hard as you can. You don't want to just do any taps. Or you shouldn't be hitting them at all. It's either 150% or nothing. Okay, I already had a request for the one we did last time, one of the elbow techniques. So, Denny? Okay, elbow techniques, there's a lot of them, but first thing is, I'm going to block and hit here. That's one way to do it, or I can come over here and block with this hand and strike up, depending on which way you want to do it. This is the one I showed you last time, so I'm going to shatter that elbow, which is going to make this whole arm weak. And then I'm going to come up here, push, and I'm going to grab this cane. I don't want to grab the cane up here. I want to grab it down here so I have more leverage. And here, if I just go like that, I'm going to dislocate his shoulder real fast. All I got to do is lift here. From here, I want to take my left foot and just step out, and I'm going to lift this thing up, and I'm going to throw him on the ground. And then if I want to finish him, I could do it as long as I do it all in one motion. If he's on the ground, you see him there, and then you hit him, that's against the law. If you do it all in one motion, you're going to be okay. It's just like if you're fighting somebody with a knife, and the guy comes to you with a knife, and you disarm him, and you stab him, you're going to jail because you just stabbed an unarmed person.
Well, if you stab him, just take his hand.
That would be a good one. That'd be the best way to do it. So you wouldn't disarm him then. Okay, the same thing with a cane. When you hit, you get the guy down on the ground, you step back. If he gets up aggressively, yes, you can take care of business, but you can't do it until he gets aggressive again. That's the law. You disarm somebody, like these this gun disarm. You disarm the guy and you shoot him. You're shooting an unarmed man. This guy's coming at you, you attack him, you save yourself, you get him on the ground, unless you keep him in the same movement and do a couple extra things, break both of his arms, his legs, then step back and say, get up, which you can't do because everything's broken. But you want to do it all at one time. Once you stop, he's on the ground, he's got to get up and be aggressive. That's the law. Make sense? Okay? So, I just wanted to tell you guys that right now. If you're out in the middle of a park and they have somebody attacks you, number one, look around because there's probably more than one of them. Number two, do what you got to do, then go to a phone booth and call. I wouldn't hang around because lawyers get expensive. The prosecutor is there to prosecute you. He's going to try to make you tell him that you didn't do this cane as a weapon and you know all about it, instead of saying, I needed it because I twisted my ankle. I could hardly walk last night. I was off balance. I don't know what was wrong with me. I needed my cane. I needed my medical device. I didn't need my weapon. This guy attacked me. Yes, I'm a martial artist. I learned how to use a cane. But that's not why I had it in my hand. I had it because I needed it. My medical device. I love it. Making sense? Carry it anywhere in the world. And I highly recommend you go to your doctor, your favorite chiropractor, and ask them for a prescription for a cane and put it in your wallet. If something happens, you say, well, doctor says I need a cane. They can't do anything. At this time, you don't have to. Going back in history, in the 13th century, if you had a cane and you banished it, twirled it in front of a king, queen, or a czar, you were beheaded. In the 16th century, you had a cane, you had to have a permit to carry it. Today, you're a gimp. Okay? You don't want to take it into a gunfight. Okay, so get interested in this cane, which I hope you do. You're crazy if you don't. Especially, I haven't heard that Cleveland's the safest place in the world. Get a prescription, put it in your pocket, and learn how to carry the cane. Most of my students don't know how to carry the cane. If you learn and know how to use a cane and you don't have it, it's going to be a lot of fun saying, gee, I wish I had my cane. Learn how to carry it. The hardest part these guys have. I had one guy who was going for Grandmaster, picked me up at the airport. He didn't have his cane. He didn't pass the first part of my test.
Did you attack him?
I just smiled. He didn't know his basics anyway, so he didn't stand a chance. But learn how to carry it. Get a nice one so you're proud of it. Well, most of my seniors now, they have their name put on it there. The ladies are putting a lot of bling on it for them, putting some of these crystals and stuff in there. I'm trying to make it so it's a conversation piece. Make it your best friend. Polish it up once a month with a little bit of polish or even car wax. Keep it so the water or moisture doesn't get inside. Moisture gets inside and this thing will turn into a stick. Most of them don't, but it can. I did have one I gave to my buddy in Hawaii. I lived in Hawaii for 6 months, learned all my yoga back then in those days. And the cane I gave him, by the time I was leaving, it was a stick. Moisture gets into it, it straightens itself back up. Okay, did I talk about how to measure the cane? How long it should be and stuff? Okay, that's important. I found out with all my tournaments and stuff, it was too long, and you do any spinning techniques at all, you're probably going to hit the ground, it's going to bounce out of your hand. So 1 inch longer than the wrist. If you have, most therapists, if they know what they're doing, to measure a cane is from where your wrist bends down to the ground. That's important. Okay? You don't want a cane that's too short, you're going to mess your back up. Too long, you're not going to hurt anything. It's just in a self-defense situation, you can't do 100% of what you can do if it's the right size. Just like when you have yourself a custom weapon, you want the right size for you. Okay? Next technique. We were just working on that one with the elbow. Let's do a couple of them. As you're coming in, you're going to block. We're going to do this right-handed. Sorry, big guy. Smash that elbow as hard as you can. Come in here, grab. You want to grab this thing palm facing you, not the palm this way. You don't have the strength this way. Okay? And you're going to bend up here. You're stiffening me up here, so I'll knock it down here for you. Okay? Try to touch your elbow to the cane. Lock it up. That gets him. He doesn't want to be here anymore. Okay? If it ever hurts you, you can tap. Now, from here, I'm going to lift this thing down, pull down, and I'm going to throw him on the ground. That will dislocate his shoulder. Now, do this Same, start up here, block, elbow, break, bring it around over here. From here, I get real nasty. I can grab this. I want to pull and push. And step down, take him straight down. Now, changing it a little bit, let's say you carry the cane this way. Comes in, strike, around. He's not going to be able to get away now, period. I can have some fun with him. Pull, push, take him down. He can't back up or do anything. You go to sleep here? Okay. Try it both ways. Have fun. Take your time. Start everything slow, learn the technique, and then go a little bit quicker. I would recommend never going over 3/4 speed.
That. There.
Okay. You're a southpaw?
So the other one will be.
Well, you said try it.
This technique is for right-handed people.
Okay.
Okay? So what you're gonna do, he's bringing that, you're gonna bring this cane into your right hand, you're gonna hit him in the, oh, no. Block, smash.
Okay.
Okay, smash here, you bring this up, push it in there, and you're gonna try to touch your elbow to your cane. That locks him up so he's not comfortable. And he's gonna let him pull and step this way. Okay, the next one, same exact thing. Block, smash the elbow, bring the cane around over here. Okay, pull, like a step forward, bring it straight down. The next time, we're gonna do it this way. Okay, that hurts more. Smash the elbow, you have more energy coming up to his elbow. Bring this around and right here. And you can have a lot more.
Okay, now, about where do you hold the cane?
So I pull this back, pull this up.
Come in here, smash. If it is too short, he can't go here, open it up.
That's why.
End up open down here.
Well,
It's easy for you to maneuver him.
I smack him too.
Yeah, I mean, I make it like this way. God, he's still up, isn't he?
Right.
Yeah, it's such a nice man.
Like this? And then I slide my hand down?
Pull up.
Oh, I got the point.
Right across that line. Now, do the first one. Rolling the other. Good. Okay, that's fine too. This here.
Okay.
And now, so perfect, like about foot. Close enough. Get it so where you can just get bend your hand. Don't put it back and go towards.
Okay.
You want the pressure. Okay.
All right.
You want to use your feet. Don't get it. And then where you are, what you do.
Oh,
Okay. Once you get somebody locked up, don't let go. You can take those snaps that we're gonna go off on.
Yeah, it's weird how that's, just right in here, you don't really care. Back up a little bit. Lower it to a strike. Right.
Bring it up. You grab it.
okay.
Bring it up.
Yeah.
You're trying to mirror the cane.
Okay. And then I push down.
Straight shot, like that. I'll probably step up and beat her, haymaker with it.
It's okay, it still hurt me.
Remember, best thing you get out of the way. Set that.
So you gotta smash the
This
elbow.
way first.
In real life, it's his elbow.
Stepping out of the way. There you go.
Yeah.
Now you miss it. Oops. Okay. Yeah, much better. Much better. Okay. Step out of the way. Right? If you're looking for something and it falls on you, you want to sit there and look at it? No. Step out of the way. You're getting out of the way. You're coming. You're getting out of the way. Good.
Okay, now you wanna bend that arm.
Your feet are not moving. You're saying you're not, but your elbow will take cheek.
Wrap that in.
I forget to move, I can't.
That's the point. You get it in there, you gotta move. That'll make one step.
That'll make a lot.
This one can stay here. Keep this here.
Like an ordinary thing here, we get the arm here,
Okay, now,
you get
we
the
need to
elbow
do the
down
quick
this
charge.
way.
How are you holding the pen? Is it away or towards you?
Either way, because you can't do it.
Now, hold the cane tight to you.
Now, keep thinking.
All right, so that's here. Yeah, here we go,
This doesn't have quite the same.
Right.
It looks like it's got groups and it's got.
Oh, no, try that again.
Yeah, you just put this right around the neck, no matter what it says.
Oh, so if I get one at you, I can get
And then pull down. The cane. And then start moving me around, that way.
Yeah,
So, but that's good. If you're holding it there, block. Yep, and then let go of that. No.
so this,
Go back to your handful. Okay, let go of this. Yep, and now. Right. Okay.
Sorry about the jaw.
so you're choking along with the cane.
So if you get it up, you get it up.
Yeah, it is.
That's what, I'm sorry, you all right?
No.
You guys don't fall.
Around, so.
Yeah, I do.
Figuring it out yet?
I'm going down. Okay. See, it's good for you to do that, so I know. Otherwise, it's just watching.
Watch out for the mirror. Yeah, watch out for the mirror. I know that.
This way.
I didn't see that one before.
You just get more pressure on this part to get me back. So like, when they came.
You'll lose an ear.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, and if you take a step back, you just, like, take it down.
Now his shoulder is shattered.
No, you get, you get.
Yeah. And what's swift?
Probably don't He's got an elbow on
Where
it.
they are.
Well, he's man, I pretty much took care of him.
Pretty much, he wants you, you heard him back?
Okay, let's do some other ones. We got a couple minutes here. I want to show you a few other things here. You guys mind spending an extra 10 minutes?
No, sir.
Okay. One that I kind of like, it works. If I can remember what I'm talking about here. Let's just, he's coming at me over here. I'm going to do this, right between the legs. Okay, if he has a couple on, it's going to ding. Okay, from here, I can do a couple things. One, I can push over here and just give a push and get him off balance. Or, I can get over here, I can lift it up here, I can step on this foot and rip all the ligaments and tendons out of his ankles. Okay? But he wouldn't want me to do that because he wouldn't be able to walk for about 6 months. Okay? There's so many different things I can show you here. Let's do some stuff. We did this for the Army guys. Okay? Grab me in a, here. He's got me like this. I have to figure out what I want to do. Now he's got me in a good chokehold. Okay? I can come over here and just smash his face off. I can bring this around and grab his head. Take him over here and throw him down the ground. I want to put some pressure onto it. I can come in here and I can push him over this direction here and turn out of it and then take care of business. Give me a bear hug. From here, okay, if I have the cane like this, I can just turn it over, step over here, I'm going to smash the top of his foot, I'm going to grab the ankle, that takes the weight up, I'm going to push my butt and lift up his foot. Right. Okay, there's a lot of different stuff you can use. Give me another bear hug. Coming over here, I can just start swinging. I'm going to hit something, okay? I can come over here and I'm going to grab probably an ear or something. Okay, I can, with this crook right here, I can just start swinging, either side. I was doing this with a news broadcaster. We went over the technique 4 times. Camera went on, and he hit it a little bit more, and I put my horn of my cane right in his ear. He was sorry. He tried to be sneaky about it. But you just have to think about, what am I going to do to get rid of him? Okay? I have the cane here, he grabs my hand. This is why we learn how to do it with both hands. Hi there. Or he grabs my hand, I can bring this over, come in here and slice him down if I grab it and tie him up. Okay, so here, if I lock it so he can't do that, he's going to come down. Okay, if he grabs my cane, okay, I can grab here, hit, hold on to his hand, bring him in here, and I can have some fun with him.
It starts to hurt real bad.
Okay, other side. If I'm over here, he grabs my shoulder or whatever. He's about 3 short of a 6-pack doing that with a guy with a 3-foot stick on the other side. I just had to figure out which way I want to really hurt him. Okay, I can just take it and throw his hand out to start with. But I mean, the options are there. I can break all his ribs. I can take out his shin. I can take, I mean, it's endless from this point. Okay, so if they grab you going in here, you can just make it let go, or I can kill them, one of the two. You got it from the back, front. Another technique, it's called a pop-up, so everybody can see. He starts to grab me, I'm going to pop this thing up, I'm going to go between the legs. From here, I'm going to turn it. From here, I can be nice and hold him by the throat, or I can be a jerk and pop out his eyes, depending on what you want to do. But this is grabbing some meat right here. So I'm just going to sit here, lift and pull him down, and he goes. Okay, he comes in and throws a swing at me here. Boom, I duck. I smash his shins as hard as I can. I come over here. I'm not going to do it here because most guys don't fall properly. They'll break his wrists. But if I come in here, he has to fall. Right. If I want to have some more fun standing over there, I'm not going to do the whole thing. You can grab him this way. You got some big legs, don't you? Okay, so from here, he goes down. The crook is really handy. Okay, and the ones I showed you the other night, which were my favorite, after you come at me, go ahead. I'm going to get out of the way and push down over here. This is one technique here, or I can have this thing around his neck. This neck thing, Tom was showing you last night to here, you want to suck this thing in to stop the air. If I talk too long, he will be unconscious. He has no oxygen going to his brain. Well, that's right, you don't have that problem.
No brain.
Okay? If you guys want to play with this stuff, play with it and think of a situation. You're standing here, the guy grabs your cane, whatever it happens to be. Think of how to get out of it. You'll think of something. And then practice it so it's going to work for you. Practice slow to start with. Don't try to kill your partner on a new technique. Get all the different ways of holding the cane, how it's going to be comfortable for you. And then when you get it so it's working pretty good, do it a few more times, then you can build the speed up. Go slow or you're going to hurt somebody. These canes are unforgiving. You hit somebody, it's going to hurt. So go slow. Never do it fast unless you're out in the street. Does that make sense? Practice. I myself, I don't do it as much as I used to, but I still do. I'm going down the street and I see 2 or 3 guys coming at me. I'm sitting there going, what if? It's a smart thing to do because it could happen. You're probably not going to even do it the same way while you're even that close. I'm going to tell you a situation. I was 6 punk kids. I had I'll tell you the story. 4th of July. California's on fire. I'm up at Lake Tahoe. All the smoke's coming into the basin. I couldn't see a quarter way across the lake. The lake is 26 miles wide. You can see across it at Crystal Day. It looks like it's about a mile. I have a party hat on. These 6 guys after the 4th of July party are taking lit cigarettes and throwing it in our forest. They had a mock-up, a fire at 3 miles an hour. The whole town, my town of Incline Village, would be gone in 4 hours. So the thing that scares me the most living in Lake Tahoe is fire. So these 6 punk kids are throwing lit cigarettes. My girlfriend's grabbing her heart, running around putting them out, and I'm using all the 4-letter words I know, letting them know that I'm not happy. And I had a party hat on. To make a long story short, it ended up, they got between some cars here. 2 guys came up, the big guy came up and looked at me and said, what are you going to do, old man? There's 6 of us. And also I said, that's a good start. I hit him with a palm strike as hard as I could, because when I tell you that, he blinked his eyes. I hit him in stomach 8 and 9. He went up, his arms went out there. He knocked out his 2 guys next to him, and the 3 guys behind him, they all fell down. 1 punch, 6 guys were down.
6 for 4.
Okay?
Good bowler.
There's a bowling technique. And a guy grabbed my shoulder, and I turned around. I thought it might have been one of the 6. I didn't know where everybody was. He says, I'm a friend. Get out of here. Don't get yourself in trouble. We'll take care of the mess. I mean, I was very lucky because stuff happens when you're a 10th-degree black belt. But I was very lucky, and I mean, that wouldn't have happened any better because in my mind, I was going to hit him, knock him out. I didn't realize I was going to lift him a foot off the ground. He was going to knock out his 2 friends next to him. My next shot was going to be taking out that other guy's knee. And I wasn't worried about the other guy because I wasn't there yet. I only think 2 people at a time. But I have to take care of the first one. So things happen and whatever you plan is not going to work that way. But when you have more than 1 person come at you, go with the guy with the biggest mouth, take him out first. The other guys will probably leave. I had a situation 10 years before that with 3 of them. The center guy, the other 2 guys weren't even his friend anymore. They didn't know anything about him. They leave. So take the guy out with the mouth first. And the other guy, and everybody else disappears. I'm just glad I didn't have my cane. But anyway, learn how to carry your cane everywhere you go. It's important. And stop situation. Learn the figure 8 so you can stop the situation before it starts. And then if it does start, don't go halfway, go 100%. Because at my age, if I slip and fall, hit my head, I could die. I'm still enjoying life. I want to stay here as long as I can. So do it at 100%. Anything else you want to see before we call it a night? You guys can stay here and practice if you like. I can watch. I got a couple hours before I have to get out of here. So whatever you want to do.
We're good, guys. What do you guys want to do? I gotta take off.
Okay. Practice. Have fun. Start
Where are
slow.
we eating?
Get it down. I want to thank you guys. I had a great time.
Thank you,
That was
sir.
pleasure. Good. Take care of yourself. If you ever have a question, you can talk to me anytime you want. Okay?
Thank you for
Sorry we didn't do more left-handed stuff.
Thank you for being here.
Okay, good.
Good to meet you, sir.